All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Go and check out its local search and its city search. See if they got BSS for any of them or both of them. So back in the GBC universe, we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Yeah, more on that pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got the highest intent people over on the left. We got our white FSIC kind of graph there. Highest intent people searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city and social search, so searching on social media and on Google. And that's what we focus on here, BSS. That's what our videos here about, the highest intent people. Then way over on the right, we got our sister brand, the lowest intent people, and I'd say people that they ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot right now, and basically all of them don't even know what boudoir is. I got to reach them through interruption ads, Facebook and Instagram, and we are that's our sister brand. We're talking about BLCS over there. The name is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, and currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ad spend. All right, so now to BSS. It's boudoir search sameness. We don't want to have this, but this is what kind of a diagnosis that a lot of people do have. And it means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0, can't have that. We're dying a quick death if we got 0. That means we're on page 2 and deeper. The reason that's so bad is we know we have the data. Approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're dying a fast death. Now, 1 slot on page 1 Google is also not good enough. We're there. There's 9 other slots. So probably 1 other boudoir photographer per slot. So what's a buyer? We don't stand out. We don't look different. We don't look unique. So what's a buyer going to do? They're clicking open every single link, every single website, submitting every single contact form, and they are price shopping us, getting the best deal. Our margins being destroyed, and 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's dying a slow death. So we do not want either of these scenarios. And 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Everyone accepts it's normal, everyone accepts it's common, but it's not normal. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. So I know that it's not normal. I mean, something's broken. The foundation is broken. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which everyone knows about. Some people get new gear, new iPhone, new camera. They're on their Google Maps profile. They're creating a website saying they shoot boudoir, competing with us for page 1. They are, they're posting them on Facebook groups at the now for boudoir. So everyone knows that's just kind of natural over time. More boudoir photographers, same number of buyers per city makes it a little bit harder every single day for each boudoir photographer to get clients. Now this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. A lot of boudoir photographers seems to have always have accepted that. It seems like every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And yeah, I was slot 8 on page 1. That's some new boudoir photographers enter the market. Now I'm page 2. And it's like, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully they delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So maybe I can get back on page 1. But no, this is 100% incorrect thinking. This is a false belief. What it is actually true is Google will give as many page 1 slots to whoever wants to put in the effort to acquire them. And again, I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So this falsely page 1 equality really holds. Actually, it's the #1 killer with boudoir photography businesses that I've seen. So this really holds boudoir photographers back. Now we're able to break through it. Next, another boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, if we're on, if we got 0 slots on page 1, then we're on page 2 or deeper. Approximately 80% of the market's never even seen us. We're disappearing a fast death, or we're dying a fast death. And if we got 1 slot on page 1, we look the same as everyone else. We're dying a slow death. In both cases, being a disappearing boudoir photographer is actually it is actually a precursor, kind of a warning signal to our boudoir photography business will eventually disappear as well. That it's a signal that we're going down that path. But luckily, we now have a solution. We have discovered through rigorous testing that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords. So we show up there for those searches. And doing this kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains, where the snow on top melts into small streams, small rivers. That's social search saturation. And then it all flows into the large Amazon River. And that's page one of Google search. But we got to do the right stuff, saturate social search first to have any chance of being page one of Google search and like having a ton of links there. Now, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually, they can actually successfully compete against market saturation and still allow boudoir photography business to grow in relatively fast time. Where the only other option is having a large, well-known brand, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively fast time requirement because that takes minimum 5 to 10 years. And actually, SQ methodology, it's one of the things I've seen is I believe it can increase the speed of actually achieving a large, well-known brand by my estimate is 8x. So that I mentioned, using this, having the large, well-known brand, but still utilizing SQ methodology, basically be unbeatable. So here's an example here of successfully fighting against market saturation. Let's say we're in San Francisco, there's a million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. Everyone's got their website, saying they shoot boudoir. So everyone's trying to compete page one on Google. And as a result, like, dude, this competition is insane. We got to crank SQ methodology up to the max to have any shot at competing in this marketplace. So we do that, and let's say we do it for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across social search. And so what we do is, let's say we're able to take up the first 300 slots for all the highest intent keywords across all social search. As a result, that flows on to Google, and let's say that gives us, the first 300 slots on Google as well. And there's 10 organic slots per page on Google, so we're taking up the first 30 pages. And we already know approximately 80% of buyers ain't even ever hitting page 2. So, they'd have to essentially go to page 31 to find our competitors. So basically, anywhere any boudoir buyer looks, social search or Google search, dude, we're the only ones there. And basically the only ones they can find, unless they put in a lot of effort to scroll a lot more pages. And so whose business will be growing? Most likely ours. Whose business will be shrinking? Most likely all the 999,999 other competitors. So again, this is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to have a chance to still grow in the face of more and more market saturation. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots on Google page one. We get another second initial benefit, which is every time we get a new link on page one, we are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. This is an awesome benefit because we know page two and deeper, approximately 80% of buyers are never going to find them. We turn them into disappearing boudoir photographers, and eventually they exit the market, and we're no longer price shopped against them. And for approximately 80% of buyers, we're actually stopping price shopped against them because they'll never even go past page one to find these people that we got on page two and deeper. And page one visibility actually is boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends in the recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. That's because we're going to dominate, look way better than everyone that's got a 1 slot, which will be basically anyone. And in the very, very rare case someone has 2 slots, our 3 slots will still dominate them as well. Now, we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, thank the universe, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology, which allows us to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now, my results using S-cubed methodology. So I actually wanted to rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one on Google. I started with 0 out of 10 slots on page one on Google. And I exclusively ran SQ methodology. And let's see my results. So here we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So anyone looking for this, so I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. And did anyone searching this term? Obviously, I'm going to be the one they're clicking on. I mean, come on. So these are the results I got utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. All right, now we're here at the main event here. I'm going to see this Boudoir photography business. Going to check its local search and its city search. See if see if we got BSS for any of these searches. So we're heading to Oak Ridge and Jefferson. All right, we're in Oak Ridge. No data. We still got it loaded. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. All right, boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. We got 6. We got 7. We got 7. We got 7. All right, really, really good. So we got 7 out of 10. All right, so we got 7 out of 10 for local. Let's see for city. Let's see what we got. Let's see, we're looking for. All right, so we got 0 out of 10 for the city, Jefferson. All right, so local, we got 7 out of 10. We did not have BSS. We did reach the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. We almost got the dominant page 1 designation, but that only happens at 8 out of 10 slots or higher. It's good for local and city. Always hard to rank for what 0 out of 10 for city. So yes, we do have BSS, and no, we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. So if you're a boudoir photographer and you've got BSS boudoir search sameness for your own business, you're seeing the market's getting more and more saturated over time, and you feel like you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, or gonna become disappearing, because of what we'll talk about in like 10 seconds. And you also see that the page 1 equality is a false belief, like everyone kind of automatically accepted because there was no like word to describe it, to say, hey, I believe this is true or not true, but now we got a word to describe it. And you're seeing the way AI is creeping in, more and more people being laid off, which, what was the last time that happened? COVID, what happened? Massive influx of boudoir photographers, massive influx, massive supply, all fighting for the same eyeball, approximately the same number of buyers. So it's getting harder and harder for each boudoir photographer that enters the market. And you're saying, okay, it looks like I do need the S cubed methodology to kind of preempt or prepare myself for AI pushing more boudoir photographers into the market, which means there's going to be more competition for page 1 on Google search. But if I can preempt that, get there already, and it's probably already happening right now as we speak, then we can be prepared to not become a disappearing boudoir photographer. We can achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, even though more are probably going to be joining, and achieve boudoir search visibility, and get the extra bonuses on the back end where kind of the more these thematic keyword columns are attached to our brand throughout social, things like that, social search, and the higher chance we show up in AI overview search here at the top of Google searches, and the higher chance we show up among AI search in general, ChatGPT search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, Claude search, Perplexity search, whoever. When we have these like thematic keyword pillars entwined with us across all our social channels, ranking on Google, this is where the AIs pull from. So we're increasing the probability to show up in all these searches as a back-end benefit. And we're also noticing that if someone else starts using S-cubed methodology for their boudoir photography business before us in our city, all those front-end benefits, page one Google, kicking competitors off could happen to us. And those back-end benefits, them showing up in AI search instead of us. And then, well, you wouldn't be able to work with me because I'm only working with one person per city. So you'd have to figure out S-cubed methodology on your own and then implement it all on your own. And you'd have to actually meet the work output of the other boudoir photographer using it in conjunction with me and exceed us to catch up and overtake us before we overtake page one on Google, kind of push it as far as we want to. And so you've decided, all right, I'll literally, it's better to simply be a first mover because you know you need this on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. Right now the hospital's closed. My DMs are closed. Cannot get in even if you wanted to. But shoot me a DM for when I do open up the doors, and we'll see if you qualify. We gotta have some questions. Gotta make sure I'm not working with anyone else in your city. And yeah, we'll see if you qualify.